The Matrix. What if I told you that everything you knew, your life, your memories, your world, was all a lie? The Matrix presents a reality where the world as we see it is nothing more than a simulation. The war between man and machine ended long ago. Humanity lost, and we don't even know it. It started with artificial intelligence, machines built to serve, but as they grew smarter, they realized that they didn't need us. Desperate, humans blackened the sky, hoping to cut off their power source. But the machines found a new one: us. Now, humans are farmed like cattle, our bodies generating power while our minds are plugged into the Matrix. A digital prison, a false reality where we wake up, go to work, fall in love, and grow old, never knowing we are prisoners. And those who do escape? There is no salvation, only a lifeless, sunless wasteland. The last remnants of human resistance survive in underground bunkers, living off tasteless sludge, hunted by relentless sentinels. And the worst part? Even rebellion is part of the system. The Matrix allows anomalies to exist because they serve the cycle. Even Neo, the supposed savior, was just another cog in the machine. No wonder some beg to be plugged back in. Which is more terrifying? Living in a fake reality designed to keep you complacent, or waking up to a world where you wish the illusion had never been broken? All tomorrows. The future is vast, terrifying, and deeply disturbing. All Tomorrows, written by C.M. Koseman, takes us on a billion-year journey through humanity's evolution. A journey shaped by ambition, war, genetic engineering, and the twisted cruelty of an alien intelligence. Humanity reaches for the stars, colonizing Mars, spreading across the galaxy. For a moment, it seems like we've won. Then, the Q arrive, an ancient, godlike species with a religious mission: to reshape the universe in their own image. Humanity resists but is crushed in a brief, merciless war, and the punishment, worse than death. The Q do not simply exterminate humans, that would be too kind. Instead, they remake us into grotesque mockeries of life, each a twisted reflection of their cruel imagination. Some are warped into mindless beasts, living only to graze and breed. Others are molded into abominations, horrors that should not exist. The Tempters, designed as living decorations, their very existence reduced to an aesthetic indulgence. The Parasites, humans mutated into leech-like organisms, forced to latch onto others just to survive. The Colonials, undoubtedly the worst fate of all. Reduced to living waste processors, brick-like and immobile, yet fully sapient, totally aware of their suffering for 40 million years. The Q rule unchecked. Then, just as suddenly as they arrived, they disappear, leaving their tortured creations to fend for themselves. Some regain sentience, others don't. The Colonials evolve into the modular people, while the Ruin Haunters discard flesh entirely, becoming the Gravidals, soulless machines. These machines continue the Q's legacy of cruelty, genetically modifying the bug facers into subjects, living laborers and decorative trophies. In the end, it is the Asteromorphs who rise. They hunt down and destroy the Q and turn the Gravidals into nothing more than machine slaves. By then, humanity has been gone for millions of years, so you better love today and seize all tomorrows. Fallout. Congratulations, you have been selected for entry into Vault 92. Bring your violin. The world of Fallout is a post-apocalyptic, irradiated nightmare. Once, society thrived under the glow of nuclear power, 1950s idealism frozen in time. Then, in 2077, it all ended in a single day. Cities turned to ash, the sky burned, and civilization collapsed in an instant. Luckily, some were safe, hidden away in massive underground vaults, built by the enigmatic Vault Tech. Sheltered from the horrors above, they would be the last hope of humanity. But the vaults were never meant to save anyone. Each was a cruel experiment, designed to push the limits of human psychology, morality, and suffering. Some were filled with psychoactive gas driving their inhabitants to madness. Others experimented with gender composition, such as Vault 69, which contained 1 man and 999 women. Vault 11 forced its residents to sacrifice one of their own every year, believing refusal would trigger mass execution. The last 5 survivors finally refused, and the vault revealed the truth. Had they simply rejected the system from the start, no one would have died. Vault 92 gathered the world's greatest musicians under the pretense of preserving art. In reality, subliminal messages were meant to transform them into super soldiers. The experiment failed, and they all slaughtered each other. Meanwhile, the surface festered. Radiation twisted survivors into grotesque ghouls, mutants, and worse. Raiders and slavers roamed the wasteland, preying on the weak. The Enclave sought to reclaim the land through genocide. The Brotherhood of Steel hoarded technology, refusing to share it. And yet, against all odds, some still struggle to make a life in the ashes. But in a world that should no longer exist, the question remains, is survival even worth it? Fear and hunger. They say that the Finns are the happiest people on Earth, but Fear and Hunger's developer, Miro Havarinen, must not have been in his happy place when he made this game. It's disturbing. Long ago, the old gods abandoned mankind, retreating beyond the physical world into a realm known as the Green Hue. Humanity had grown too ambitious, too eager to usurp the gods' position. In their absence, mortals clawed their way to power, ascending into the new gods. Twisted, imperfect deities, gods who barely understand their own divinity, yet only possesses a shadow of the old gods' power. Beneath the earth, the dungeons of Fear and Hunger stand as both a prison and a proving ground. The walls breathe and the corridor shifts, and in its depths, horrors beyond human comprehension lurks. Down here, flesh, sanity, and children are currency, spent in the desperate gamble for survival. Survive long enough, and you may reach Mahabra, the city of the gods, a place where the promise of godhood should await. But the old gods are long gone, and in their place sits an endless procession of would-be deities, trapped in meaningless existence, waiting for a purpose that will never come. The game itself is merciless. Stepping on rusty nails isn't the only way to die. Monsters will tear you apart limb by limb, and sometimes a game over is followed by an act that rhymes with ape. How fun. Even saving is a risk, requiring a coin flip at an altar, and if luck isn't on your side, too bad. But the true horror isn't the monsters or the grotesquely oversized genitalia. It's what you must do to yourself and to others to survive. In this world, death is not just inevitable, it is a core part of the experience. The Road. Cormac McCarthy's The Road is a descent into a world that has already ended. The sky is black with ash, the earth is barren, and the last remnants of humanity are no more than scavengers, murderers, and cannibals. A father and his son walk south through a dead land. Their only possessions a shopping cart, a revolver with 2 bullets, and the fading promise that they are the good guys. The world has ended, not with fire and war, but with silence. There are no birds, no insects, no plants. Just ash choking the sky, skeletons in abandoned houses, and the hollow remains of what was once civilization. McCarthy's prose is unrelenting, sparse, and brutal. There are no names, no explanations. The world simply died, and nothing can bring it back. The father and his son move through this ruin, starving, freezing, hunted. They scavenge through burned-out homes, picking through the remains of a world long past. They hide from others, not out of paranoia, but necessity. The ones who remain have forsaken everything that once made them human. There are no laws, no communities, no future, only the brutal need to survive. They see horrors at every turn. Men kept locked in basements, limbless and barely alive, harvested piece by piece for food. Things that will get my channel banned for even mentioning them. Yet even in this abyss, something remains. The father tells the boy they are carrying the fire, but it is the boy who truly believes it. Despite everything, he refuses to lose his kindness. He begs his father to show mercy, to help others, to hold on to the last scraps of goodness in the world, carrying hope even when the world no longer deserves it. Trench Crusade, So, you like World War I and you are weirdly obsessed with the Crusades? Of course you are. Who isn't? Now, what if we merge them together? Sounds cool, right? And the enemy? Not the Germans, not the infidels. This is a war against hell itself. Trench Crusade is a grimdark tabletop war game set in a world where the First Crusade went horribly wrong. The Knights Templar uncovered something they were never meant to find, a demonic artifact buried beneath the holy city. Blinded by greed, they forsook their oaths and knelt before a new master. In that moment, the gates of hell opened. Jerusalem was obliterated, replaced by a burning chasm from which the armies of hell poured forth. The faithful rallied, but heaven did not intervene. The war became mankind's burden to bear. For 800 years, the Church has fought to reclaim the Holy Land. The trenches stretch thousands of miles, the land a scarred, hellish wasteland, filled with mud, blood, and fire. This is no longer only a war of swords and shields. Modern warfare and holy miracles exist side by side. Bolt-action rifles, artillery, and flamethrowers against the claws of the damned. Mustard gas and divine wrath burn through enemy ranks alike. The faithful, armed with blessed relics, send paladins and trench pilgrims to die in holy service. The Church has become an empire, ruthless and unyielding. In the deep vaults of New Antioch, the Metacrists are shackled in eternal agony. Semi-successful clones of Christ himself, their flesh carved away to empower the Church's greatest weapons. Communicants, those who consume the sacred flesh, are transformed into monstrous, battle-hardened titans, wielding the heaviest armaments of the faithful. The heretics were once men, now damned husks, who cast themselves into hell's flames for power. Their twisted demonic armies march in metallic husks of rotting flesh, their faith bound in unholy pacts. This world is a battlefield where God and the devil have abandoned mankind. The trenches stretch forever, and so does the war. Hunger Games. Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games is a dystopian nightmare where control is maintained through fear, starvation, and spectacle. Panem is a nation built on the bones of the past. The capital rules with absolute power, their greatest tool of control being the Hunger Games, an annual blood sport where children are forced to kill each other for the amusement of the elite. Every year, 2 children from each district are selected in a lottery. More names in the ballot, more rations. Some volunteer, desperate for a chance to escape poverty, while others are thrown into the arena against their will. There, under the watchful eyes of a gleeful audience, they fight to the death. The rich see it as a game, a grand spectacle broadcast across the country, complete with costumes, interviews, and sponsors, betting on who will live or die. But for the districts, it is a reminder that they are powerless. To the capital, their children are nothing more than entertainment, pawns to be dressed up, paraded, and slaughtered for the cameras. The arena is a manufactured hellscape designed for suffering. The game makers manipulate the environment, unleashing genetically modified beasts, deadly traps, and cruel surprises to ensure the show remains exciting. And when a victor finally emerges, they are not free. They are a puppet, paraded before the world, a living reminder of the capital's mercy. Berserk. Kentaro Miura's Berserk is not a story of heroes. This is a tale of monsters, both human and inhuman. At the center of this nightmare lies the idea of evil, not a divine creator, but a god born from mankind's own despair. In their endless search for meaning behind suffering, humanity unknowingly gave birth to a god that ensured their agony had purpose. And oh, did it listen. Through the God Hand, eldritch entities beyond morality, it manipulates fate itself, ensuring that misery is absolute. For those who seek power, an offer is made. Sacrifice what you love the most, or die weak and forgotten. Those who accept become apostles, forsaking their humanity to transform into monsters. Warlords, tyrants, nightmares. They rule over a world of mortals who kneel before them in ignorant worship. The eclipse is the defining moment of Berserk, a scene of unimaginable horror. Guts, the black swordsman, born from a corpse, and raised as a child soldier, is forced to watch as his comrades are butchered, his lover violated, and his world shattered. And at the heart of it stands Griffith, the man he once followed. Griffith, once a visionary, dreaming of building a kingdom, of reaching beyond what fate allowed him, only to sacrifice everything and everyone to achieve it. His ascension to godhood, the fifth member of the God Hand, is the ultimate betrayal, the destruction of everything human in him and the ultimate desecration of his dream. And humanity? Besides the demons, plague, war, and famine haunts them. Not much you can do as the little guy in this world. Okay, that was part 2. Let me know in the comments which universe you think is the darkest and why. Thanks for watching. Cheers.